Hello and welcome to The Telescope. Every week we bring you a fresh insight from the biggest car market in the world. Today's car is the MG4, but this is not a full review because this car is already very popular in Europe. There are more than enough MG4 reviews on YouTube already. I am here to tell you how is the MG4 always destined to destroy the Volkswagen ID.3 in Europe at least. In short, MG is owned by SAIC, Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation. SAIC Volkswagen produces the ID.3, 4, 6 in China. They know the MEB platform inside out. The MG4 is... I need to be careful with my words here. Well, just look at these striking similarities of the B-pillar, the tailgate and the mirrors. If you want to look under the skin, these are all official images from Volkswagen and MG. Look here, 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 here and here. You can make your own conclusions, but let's say that MG or SAIC knows what makes the MEB platforms great and made it arguably better. Because the MG4, having the advantage of being developed later, has a very thin battery pack. As a result, you sit significantly lower in the MG4 than you would be in the ID.3. The MG4 in China retails about 10% cheaper than the ID.3. You might think it must be doing very well in China considering its brilliant results in Europe. But no, last month the MG Mulan, that is MG4's Chinese name, only sold 398 cars. Meanwhile, more than 10,000 MG4s were exported in March alone. This really is a car designed from the ground up for Europe. Yes, the MG4 is engineered in Shanghai, but it is designed in the UK. It is very sharp and aggressive, which definitely speaks to the younger customers. But I think this exterior design speaks to a narrower audience than the ID.3's friendly, smiley, and also in a way, chubby design. The interior quality of the MG4 is definitely better than the ID.3. That was the biggest problem with the pre-facelifted ID.3 in China. The European ID.3 has gone through a facelift and significantly improved its material choices. When the MG4 came out, I remember being shocked by this very basic and, by Chinese standards at least, quite small infotainment screen. It's not like MG4 doesn't have a more advanced system. This is the interior of the MG7, a Volkswagen Jetta-sized petrol-powered saloon. It has the big dual-screen layout, powered by the Qualcomm 8155 chip. I was curious why did MG chose to put this much more basic-looking system into its massive European hit. After asking around a bit, at that time I was still working at NIO. MG's engineering team locates roughly in the same region as NIO, and there are a lot of staff coming back and forth between the two companies. The answer I got was, this system is enough for Europe. European clients are not as tech-savvy as the Chinese buyers. An advanced system on the MG7 could even put people off. Of course, there are cost reasons, and if you one day need it, they can very easily switch to the MG7 system. I was quite surprised by that. Is that the case? The European customers don't need a bigger screen? Leave your comments down below. We're on the move with the MG4. For whatever reason, all Chinese-made Volkswagen ID.3s has 25 kilowatts, that's roughly 35 horsepower less than what you have in Europe. This has 150 kilowatts, so this has 34 more horsepower, and on the road I definitely feel it. And all of the controls, the steering, the throttle, feels lighter than the ID.3. I'm now in the sport mode, but this, I would say, it's still lighter than the comfort mode on the ID.3. So on the road, this car, at least within its performance limits, feels lighter on its feet. We are in the top of the spec single motor rear wheel drive version. If you pay about 20,000 RMB extra, you can get this car in twin motor. That is under 4 seconds to 100 kilometers an hour. In my opinion, when the charging infrastructure is fully ready, that will finish off all of your AMG A35, A45, all of the hot hatch or the so-called hyper hatches. This is so much faster than all of them put together. And because you don't have a gearbox, this is instantaneous acceleration at any speed. this car has normal visibility. This is not bad. This is okay for this class, but it is worse than ID.3. ID.3's visibility, especially towards the front, is unusually good. It has that double A-pillar, massive front windscreen, really low scutter. But this visibility, both forward and rearward, is a little bit worse than the ID.3. But if you've not driven the ID.3, then you probably don't even feel this is a problem. But there is one problem with the electric motor, that is its very specific high-pitched whining noise that only appears if you accelerate above 90 kilometers an hour. I've not heard this kind of noise in an electric vehicle for a long time. I don't know whether it's a problem with this specific car. I mean, this car we have is on a prototype license plate, so this could be just a problem with this single car. And this is very difficult to pick up by the microphone, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Other things, this car has no touch-sensitive controls, and thank God for that. This is coming from an ID.3 owner. I mean, this car, apart from the central infotainment screen, they are all physical controls, and they are all at places where you expect to find them, and you use them in an expected way. It doesn't try to invent anything. This, in terms of learning cost, is zero. I mean, when you step into this car, everything instantly works. Nothing is a nasty surprise. This cannot be more different than the ID.3. I mean, ID.3's steering wheel is fully touch sensitive. The infotainment is fully touch sensitive. I can only hold the steering wheel in a very specific kind of way. This, I can hold the steering wheel whichever way I want. I know I won't turn on any function by accident. This is so good. I find out when this noise appears. It's when you reaccelerate above 80 kilometers an hour and stay within 20% of the car's power. So low power output at high speed, this car has this kind of annoying high-pitched whining noise. I don't know if it's just me, I'm being young to be able to hear this kind of noise. Another thing is MG pumps this car's tire pressure to 3.0 bar, probably to save energy. This is a very Tesla style setup. However, you don't feel the negative impact of this high tire pressure because this car is, thank goodness again, on normal size rims. This is on 18-inch rims, and this is so much better. This has so much more sidewall than my 20-inch ID.3. If you're thinking about buying an ID.3, I strongly advise you to stay away from that very good looking, I'll give it that, 20-inch wheels at all cost. There is only ID.3 using that tire size among all the cars in the world. So, would you believe it, the replacement tire on that 20-inch ID.3 is more expensive than my Jaguar F-Type, which is a two-seater sports car.
Now you know. The knowledge and experience gained from SAIC's Volkswagen involvement means the MG4 is always destined to destroy the ID.3 in Europe. Compared to the €40,000 ID.3, the MG4 has more range for €10,000 less. That is China's cost advantage for you. The Volvo EX30 is a very similar story. It is defined and designed by Volvo in Sweden, but is engineered and manufactured by Geely in China. If you want a quintessentially European Volvo electric vehicle, just be prepared to pay 30% more. That is all from the Telescope today. If you enjoyed this video, keep watching, keep subscribing. More videos coming along very soon.